And good Monday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and off to the races we go for another race. 68 right now as we wait for a high of about 86. 40% chance of thunderstorms, mainly after 1 o'clock. Have you ever heard the term Scooby-Doo Fog? Well, that's what we've got in areas this morning. Let's pull up radar so you'll know some areas that need to leave home early, especially as we go on the eastern side of Lauderdale County and into Kemper County and Neshoba County. As we look at the Meridian area, thick fog stretching all the way here. As soon as you get into Lauderdale County, it's starting to get heavier. The further east you go, the thicker it gets toward that Alabama line. And let's start on some locations where y'all can see what we're looking at here in relation to where you are. Starts there around Lost Gap. Picks up there and goes just north, right around there around Stuckey's Bridge, this area at Dunn's Fall. This is going to go into northern Clark County. If you're coming into Meridian, you're going to get into the fog somewhere right around where Clarko State Park is. The further north you come into town, the thicker it gets. By the time you reach Clarkdale, it's heavy. Also out here in the area of Snell, where the volunteer fire department is on 514, heavy. And look at this eastern side of Lauderdale County, out here by the Simmons Wright store, all the way up to Dalewood, almost to Cuba. Thick, thick, thick. Highway 17, I-20 to Livingston is thick. As we look at all this, school buses are rolling. Be careful. Now, the further north you go, you might not even be able to see Scuba and the red light. Oh, wait a minute. They took the red light down. The four-way stop there. It is thick. This goes back across. It starts right over here on Highway 15 in Neshoba County, goes eastward across 1916 into Kemper County and right on up to Macon. Now, this gold area is pretty thick fog, too, but that red is the worst of the worst that we're showing there. Again, this stretch of 16 into Neshoba County, y'all be careful. You can't pass to begin with, and it's bad. Highway 16 as well, west of the casinos, that's thick. Not as bad as it is just east of town, but it's pretty heavy there. For those of you who travel back and forth from Philadelphia to Meridian or the opposite way of that, y'all be extremely careful this morning. Winston County, y'all have got a good bit there also. I wanted to point out Highway 14 here, Louisville, as you're going toward Macon, that's thick. Highway 15 through Noxapater all the way up to Louisville, also thick this morning. So lots of reasons to leave early if you're anywhere on that coverage map that we just showed. We want you to be extremely careful this morning. Well, a lot has happened over the weekend, hasn't it? It's been a busy one as we look at the events of the weekend. Jackson, Mississippi, making national headlines. We'll get into that. One dead here in just a little while. We've had no deaths in Meridian, but boy, what a weekend we've had for gunplay. We'll talk about all of that also. Let's start out talking about I-20. Let's go to sammedia.network. We had a pedestrian hit on Friday night that was in the roadway. And let's pull this up here for a quick look here. This was the scene of I-20. This was right around where Six Motel is on I-20, in between 152, 153, a little bit closer to mile marker 153 there. As you can see there, that was the scene of the cops and the ambulances there on I-20 as we looked at that. Now, the person was struck. It threw him in the air, and he landed on top of the car. By the time paramedics got there, he was still laid across the back glass of the car where it threw him in the air, and he landed. Was still talking, from my understanding there, while he was on scene. We have not had an update after he left the scene, but from people that were bystanders that were passing along the information. And how this happens, how many times has this happened in our area? Somebody got hit by a car there. This person, a little bit different of witnesses that said that he crossed and then walked back into the road. Almost stood there as the car got closer. We don't know all the details, but that is what some of the folks were saying that went on there. We hope everything works out well for that. Also over the weekend, I have not gotten an update from Macon, but there was a report as we go to Sam Media. There was a person in Macon, Mississippi that wrecked, took off all their clothes, and attempted to take a vehicle from somebody else. He was met with force when he attempted to do that. The police arrived, and he is getting the attention that he needs. I'm understanding that it had a little something to do with some mental problems and some other issues, but he is getting help at this point, which is good news. I'm sure that a lot of you have seen that. It was circulating throughout Noxubee County over the weekend. Lots of videos of that. So that did happen there. We had a little thunder boomer move through the area yesterday afternoon. Did y'all see this? And after it was all said and done, we'll look at several of these. But boy, the pictures that came in of this are the rainbows that came through the area. Isn't that just gorgeous? That was Clark County. Now, we also, at the same time, look at this. I'll show you just a clip of this. This was hail that came through the area there yesterday afternoon. Pretty heavy there. And again, that was Clark County getting some of that hail there as it came through. Wow. So if you were in there and you felt any of that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. No major, didn't last long, and it come and went as quick as it was there. So there we are. Good morning, Robin Miller. Glad to see you. Melanie Mann is up. First day of Monday, Takori says, of the month. LaWanda, how are you? Belinda Sowers joins us. Billy Robinson. Foggy on 397. Terry Carter is telling us it is. Miss Gail Gafford's up. Ann Hall, how are you? Roy Ellis, Mary Ruth, and Mary Ruth Dennis. Good to see you there from House, Mississippi. Anita Humphreys. A lot of folks up. Lamar, glad to see y'all. Now, let's get into the talk of what went on over the weekend as we pull this up. Yeah, gunfire in the Meridian area over the weekend. Now, Friday night, as we showed Saturday morning, mostly concentrated around the Highway 19 area where the two victims were murdered in Meridian. That's where we saw most of the action on Friday night. Saturday night, a very calm night in Meridian on Saturday night. Last night, somewhere around 10 o'clock, things started changing, didn't they? And if you live within the city limits of Meridian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're not made up or, as some say, oh, you're just talking. No, these actually were shots heard throughout the Meridian area. And let's look at some of these places so that you'll know in relationship to where you are, your travels, and where all this stuff was. As we pull this up, we had reports of 3rd Street, 48th Avenue. Now, this is Highway 19 right here coming in Meridian. This is Meridian Cycles. This is where the murder happened. This would be right over to the right of there. As we move to our next shooting that was reported, it shifts from there. That was the only report that we had there. This will all move north here. If you'll notice, here's Highland Park. We had reports of shots fired at 19th Street and Martin Luther King Drive, right in that area there. As you'll look, here's Highland Park. 20th Street, to give you a relationship, here's Anderson's Hospital. 24th Avenue, just to the west of there, in between there and Highland Park. As we move to our next area here, we had reports, and this is, again, as you look at this, the same area, North Meridian. Here's Highland Park again, 19th Street and 29th Avenue. As you look at that, shots reported in that area. It was a bunch of this throughout. Here's some more. Let's look here. I had shots reported here also. This is going to be 38th Street and Grant Avenue. As you'll look at this, here's Magnolia Cemetery. Here's Meridian High. And this is right in here. Here's Highway 39. This is going to be due west of there. Here's Country Club Drive in that area. Here's Northwood Country Club. Right in that area there is where we had shots reported also. Let me see what else we've got. Several other places. It was a busy night. Someone got their hands on some ammo, without a doubt. Now, here's another one. This is going to be the 300 block of 6th Avenue. I want to make sure I got that right. As we look at this, let's pull this up where you can see this. This is going to be Highway 39. This is where Johnson Dodge sits. This is B Street. I think where everybody knows that, where the Salvation Army Street office was. Due south of there is where we had reports of some gunfire there. Again, all of these that I'm mentioning, there was no one hurt, no one injured, to my knowledge. Now, daylight will come, and maybe it will be a little bit different. Let's go back over. More shots reported on this area of town also. 36th Street and 35th Avenue. Here's Highland Park. We go due north of there. Here's North Hill Street right here. Here's Skate Odyssey right in there. It'll be due south of there and west of Highway 39, this area right there. Let's go a step forward here. 16th Street, 26th Avenue, shots reported there also. Here's Anderson's Hospital. It would be west of there is where this happened. This is 24th. Here's where the Walgreens is. Fire station number 1 sits about here, due north of there in that area there. I think I had one other report. I did. I had this happened around 10 p.m. last night. I had someone that lived close to this area says it sounds like a war zone in my area. So we pull this up. This would be 38th Avenue and Royal Road. Yet again, here we are, Highland Park. Due north of there is where all of this happened. Y'all see that? Highland in that area, right around there, Face Social Club, right there. And again, it's due north of Highland Park, east of State Boulevard Extension is where that is. So yes, issues do happen throughout the Meridian area as we look at what has gone over. And that was Sunday night. That was not including all weekend. That was just last night of the reports that were sent to me and heard throughout the area. Again, I have no reports at this time of damage. That may change. If it does, we'll get that posted as soon as we can. We do have one person. This happened later in the day on Friday, but I wanted to bring it back up to make sure everybody was aware of this. One arrested and charged. Again, until you go to court of law, until you're convicted, you're accused, but we do have an arrest made and a charge made as we go to sammedia.network. One arrested, and that's going to be Cordelia Brown. And I did not pronounce that right, I'm sure, but he's been charged with murder as we look at this. 2 counts of first-degree murder. That was there at the Exxon. We'll watch this as it grows closer and learn out more information on this. But that's a few of the headlines that happened there. As things were going overnight, Saturday night, there was a incident with a Lauderdale County deputy, a minor fender bender. There was a pursuit going on, and as we look at this, here's damage to the car. Caught that rear quarter panel and busted a tire. Nothing major. Everybody was okay, and the person who got damage in their car also, and then I think took to foot running. No word yet if they've been arrested. Hopefully they have. That's a few of the things that went on there. As we shift gears, the state of Mississippi, we have once again made national headlines. This time, and it does worry you when you go to festivals and things that are going on. We go to Jackson, Mississippi, the Mud Bug Festival. Y'all aware of that? It got interrupted this weekend as one was shot, dead, and 5 injured. They've detained a couple of people. Not sure that they've made a charge yet, but they have detained 2 people there. This happened Saturday night. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Several others injured there in Jackson, Mississippi. How comfortable does that make you feel? Jackson's gone wild. Not to say that we don't have our own problems there, but a lot of issues going on there also, without a doubt. Let's see here. A Louisville man has been charged with aggravated assault as we look at headlines from across the state. Louisville not that far from here as we look at this. 57-year-old Donald Sistrunk was arrested Friday night there on Columbus Street in Louisville. It is alleged that he shot Ross Armand in the face with a shotgun. Again, alleged. We'll find out more of this, but he has been charged with aggravated assault. Shot someone in the face with a shotgun. Doesn't sound good. And as we go back to our story from around the state of the chicken, Ocean Springs, as Carl the rooster was murdered, they're looking at having a ceremony, a funeral for Carl there. This chicken was near and dear to those folks there in Ocean Springs. And again, a lady that worked for the Jones County Sheriff's Detention Center lost her job over her involvement in taking the chicken. It's all alleged. We'll find out what happens in court on that. Kosciuszko, Mississippi, also making the headlines over the weekend as they find one man shot and killed on Northside Park Road. It was a 21-year-old. A lot of things happen in our state, don't they? Y'all know what I mean. As we saw in Meridian where we had a pedestrian struck on I-20, we go to Biloxi. They got one that is dead this morning that tried to cross Highway 90. Highway 90 is busy. If you ever go down to the beach in those areas, be careful as you cross. But this man tried to cross and was killed. We pass along condolences to his family also. As we go to a remote part of Mississippi, Tishomingo County, they were saying that they have found a body in a truck that was burned out. It was in a real remote area in the county there on a dirt road. It was found burned and did have a body inside of it. Investigators are all over this. Mississippi Bureau of Investigations being involved in it also. I think we've all had an argument with a spouse or two from time to time, haven't we? Well, you can't help it. We're human. You're going to have disagreements. But as we go to this next story there, well, a Mississippi woman in jail now for she was having an argument over how to discipline her child. It was her child and then boyfriend. And, well, she didn't like his advice. She stabbed him. He's not dead, but he's not feeling well either. I would think that arguments can be worked out better than that. That's what I think. Sad news as we look at some of these national headlines this morning. This really and truly caught me off guard, and I'm sure it did you too. We were waiting last night as the judge were finally going to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Naomi, a beautiful soul, gorgeous woman, the judge, her and Winona had announced they would be coming to Mississippi for a tour. And from all things that I read and trying to read between the lines, it looks as though Naomi could have, we don't know for sure, taken her own life. They keep saying it was mental illness that ended it, which leans toward that. Winona went ahead with the induction to the Country Music Hall of Fame last night, as they were both going to be inducted. What a sad night. Her and Ashley showed up on that. And here's the plaque. She missed it by 2 days. The tour was getting ready to begin. Who knows what caused this? Did she want to tour again? Was it giving her anxiety and she couldn't handle it? We don't know. It had been quite some time since they had toured and called it quits. Met Winona many times. Sweet girl. I've never met Ashley, but horrible way. Such a country music legend. So we, again, pass along our condolences to that. As I don't know the details of this morning, but as we look at Twitter, y'all know Mike Lindell, the CEO of My Pillow, My Sheets, and a whole bunch of My Slippers and everything else that he does. He got back on Twitter for 4 hours before he was banned again. I don't know what he done to get it, but that's the headline this morning. We'll dig deeper in that to find out what he did to get chunked off. Let's see. A Missouri man is convicted of murdering his wife. She was pregnant. He had a note. He'd been caught with his mistress, and he had a note of why he wanted to stay with his wife or go with the mistress. He ended up killing her. He'll spend the rest of his life at least behind bars, is what we think. As we look at these tornadoes, and we all, I don't know if the word is fear or respect. Have you seen all of these storms? We'll look at deeper at this morning during the 8 o'clock hour. Kansas, of those, probably more video of these than any. They had 165-mile-an-hour winds. Tore apart more than 1,000 homes. A destruction path 13 miles long. It's horrible. There's many Americans this morning without a home there in Kansas. They were huge. They were violent. We keep those family members in our prayers this morning because it's a mess there, without a doubt. Good to see each and every one of you this morning. I hope you're feeling good. We've got a lot coming up. Stay close. We'll tell you about it. We're going to take a look at your forecast next. Here's Scotty Ray's weather.
Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, daybeds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Also, we needed to give an update. Someone mentioned this, of the motorcycle wreck that we had in our community over the weekend. Mount Horeb Road, horrible accident. A young man was airlifted to Jackson, Mississippi with major foot problems. As our update comes in there that says he's not quite out of the woods yet. they're not sure that of having he's not out of the woods of having his foot amputated. So we need prayers for that young man. That was a bad wreck. So we pass along condolences and hope everything gets better for him. A lot of people comment and know this young man. We do hope he gets better and they'll be able to save his foot. I've never ridden motorcycles, and there's nothing to protect you when you go down. We all know that. So we do hope this turns out good for him in the end. Keep that prayer chain going for him. He certainly needs it, without a doubt. All right, let's go back to radar before we get deep into this and look to see where the fog is at this point of where we are this morning and what we've got. 68 right now as you wake up. And again, we are going to have a high of about 86 and chance of afternoon showers. As we dig into the forecast and pull up radar, here we go. Still showing thick fog almost all the way to Macon, Mississippi now. We're showing all this around Tucker, Highway 19, very, very thick going across Kemper County, taking most of this in. Got fog all the way to the state line. We've got it all the way through Edinburgh as we look at all of Louisville under fog. Gets heavier just out of town before you get right along here. Before you get to Noxapater there at the Dollar General, it gets thicker just south of where Lake Teocata is. Even thicker in Kemper as we get to Lauderdale County. Starting to move now just in that northern portion of Newton County there. 15 just north of Decatur. Starting to show some there on that 2-lane. Y'all be careful. If you're coming in from the Newton area to Meridian this morning, as you cross that county line, you'll start seeing it. By the time you get to the Meridian Airport, it will be heavy, all the way down Highway 11 there around Plant Sweat and out toward Clarkdale. As we go over here, Snell, these areas here, and really heavy in Toomsuba. Out here at Russell Christian Academy, y'all be careful. School buses are rolling in all these portions of the county. We want you to be on your utmost behavior. Leave early today. As we go down, as we show here, northeastern Clark County has a lot of fog also. Basically starting right around there, Clarko, moving northward and eastward. Lisbon, Alabama. Even we've got it here at Cromwell over at the Volunteer Fire Department. A lot of fog this morning. As you look at the radar here, we're showing, let me turn this off. We can see a statewide thing here. Look at Alabama, all of this fog. North of Mobile all the way to Tallahassee, Florida. Columbus, Georgia's got a lot. Now, look at all this rain here. Yeah, this is here. We got some chances this afternoon of showers. We'll get into that here in a moment here. Heavy thunderstorms around Oklahoma City moving into that area. Dallas has gotten a lot of hail this morning. Look at that. As we watch this on our national radar scene, we move up the East Coast. A lot of fog around Washington, D.C. as well. We've got a lot out here. Let's see, a lot of rain here through Nebraska, these areas. We go out to Wyoming, North Dakota. I'm not seeing any snow this morning, believe it or not. And showers out in Oregon in those areas. That's a quick look across the nation of what's happening in those areas. Now let's get a little deeper and closer into our local forecast now to let you know exactly what to expect today.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Afternoon showers is what we're expecting with a high of about 86 in Meridian. The further north you go, the more expected rain there is. Yes, and that Mississippi Delta there is a level 1 for severe weather. Right here in the Meridian area, not so bad. We'll look at that on radar here in just a moment, though. But chance of showers this afternoon as you get into the Columbus area, Mississippi State, a little bit bigger chance of rain there. 87 in Jackson and Vicksburg today. As we look to Brookhaven, about 86. Hattiesburg looks like it'll be the warmer part of the state as you go from there to the Mississippi coast, about 88. Let's move across to Alabama. Light rain again expected in the afternoon there, stretching from Demopolis right up to the city limits of Birmingham. Hamilton, that northern part. And again, this northwest corner up here of Alabama could see some severe weather this afternoon. The rest of Alabama, Auburn, and Dothan and those areas will be fine. As we look to this, there it is right there. Hamilton, these areas here, severe weather. All right, now let's pull up and look at the state of Mississippi of what we're looking at for severe weather today in case you've got to go in areas that may have this. Let's turn on our severe so you'll see storm predictions for today. And here we go. This is what we're showing. And again, Mississippi is not bad at all. This is where we get that level 1. We'll zoom into this. This is that corner of Alabama. We go up through here. This is going to start just north of Starkville, north of Columbus, take in all of Tupelo and Memphis and these areas up here to Florence, Alabama. This is where we're watching all of this area back over here, though, for tornadic activity today. Oklahoma City, you see that line of storms there? Joplin, Missouri, Wichita, Kansas. That's the worst of the worst. You still have it in this level 2 from Springfield to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and just north of Dallas, the Denton community. That's what we're looking at for severe weather today. Not so much in our area, but I know that each of us, our connections of other states, could possibly see some severe weather there. So we hope and pray that we won't have a repeat of what went on this weekend in anywhere. What are the temperatures doing? Let's look at that over the next 6 to 10 days. Above average all the way in Texas, moving into Mississippi. You see it there. Those temperatures are going to climb as we look at our 7-day forecast. And here we go of what to expect. Now, as I mentioned today, a 40% chance of showers. We'll most likely see this rain this afternoon after 1 o'clock into the afternoon. Otherwise, a cloudy sky. High near 86 is what we're expecting, 86 to 88, depending upon where you are. It'll be warm, without a doubt. Tonight, we'll get down to a cloudy sky, 65 for our low. Tomorrow, Tuesday, not so bad, 30% chance of showers. There's a chance you could get an afternoon thunder boomer there. We'll see if these chances decrease or not. By the time we get to Wednesday, it kind of weans off to a 10% chance, high of 66. As the week progresses, look at this, Friday, a 40% chance of showers. And these highs right at the 90-degree mark. Maybe we'll have our first taste of 90-degree weather before it's all said and done. Getting close to it. By Saturday, it looks great if you're going to be out. I know there's a lot of activities planned for this coming Saturday. I know that we'll have Collinsville Day. A lot of plays and different things going on as we watch that. Good-looking weekend ahead for us, though. Sunday looks to be 87. Good weather there. And we go all the way through May the 16th. Let's go ahead and just fast forward your life to the middle of the month. Doesn't that sound weird? Oh, there's those 90s. By the 9th, we're going to be in the 92 area. You know what's next after that? I don't even want to think about 100-degree weather. We're not even to June yet. Whew. If we could stay somewhere around 84, I think we'd all be in a lot better mood, wouldn't we? I would say so. That's a quick look at that extended forecast. Let's look at your fishing. Are you headed off today to do a little bit? Maybe you're enjoying yourself. As we go to Chet's Paint and Body to look at this, your first major time was, overnight. Hope you wasn't up then. But you'll get a chance this afternoon around 2:30 to hit the water right up until dark. So about 4:30, 5 o'clock, it'll be great to go fishing. Hope you'll get a chance with that. The wind will be light southeast wind, becoming south 5 to 10 miles an hour. So that's what to expect with that wind today. That's a quick look at what we've got with the weather and what's coming up. We got Candace on the way here in about an hour and 2 minutes. She's slapping makeup and getting that hair curl now. She'll be here to tell us all about what went on over the weekend. And we'll go deeper with the stories and things that affect our community. We can't do it without you. That's without a doubt. Y'all help us each and every day with reports of what you see and where it was. We'll see you there. All right, we'll be back. Thank you for joining me. Can't say thank you enough to you and all the sponsors that make it happen every single day. We'll see you in just about an hour here at YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and also we'll be live on television at MeTV. Join us. Take a part of it.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: